In last week's video, we explored the power of removing the verb to be from your everyday speech and the how useful it is to remove it from your everyday speech, specifically the verb to be in the context of using it to define identity, right? To describe identity. If you haven't seen the video, I strongly recommend you go and check it out before watching this one. There's a link down in the description. This one will make a lot more sense because it's a direct response to that video. So in last week's video, we were talking about how removing the verb to be, or rather the is of identity from your everyday speech, how it can make your worldview more objective and sometimes more helpful. We've seen how using the verb to be in a mindless way can cause all kinds of contradictions or seemingly contradictory ideas going on in your head, things that just you can't come to terms with. If I believe that, then I can't believe that, and so on and so forth. And suddenly, if you remove the verb to be in the context of identity, then those seeming contradictions suddenly become clear. Well, today I wanted to talk about using the verb to be in controlled ways. And my contention is that the majority of magic, whether it be elemental or celestial or ceremonial, whatever it might be, whatever the kind of magic, I contend that it really boils down to using the verb to be in a controlled way. I've got a book here called Chaos Magic, Hands-on Chaos Magic by Andrieh Vitimus. It's a fantastic book. It's such a shame that it's so ugly, but the contents are amazing, absolutely amazing. Let me just show you the contents page. Here we go. So it's really a full initiation and full introduction to magic from a postmodern point of view, I guess. I mean, it's looking into what all of magic kind of boils down to, right? That's the idea, I suppose, of chaos magic. And a very strong point of chaos magic is that practitioners tend to take on a belief. And they don't pretend to take on the belief. They actually believe something because they know that any belief affects the believer's reality in a very real way, in a very strong, powerful way. And when whatever desired outcome relies on a particular belief, then, well, they're very happy to, believe in such and such a god or such and such a way that reality works or things like that. But if you think about it, that's all down to using the verb to be, right? So when I say this wand is an extension of my will, that's using the verb to be. This wand is an extension of my will. Now, is it objectively an extension of my will? Who can say? It's just that we're using this verb to be in a controlled way. We're telling our subconscious mind that this wand is an extension of my will, and therefore anything that I do with this wand, my unconscious, subconscious mind should recognize that as what my will is, right? But the thing is, with a lot of magic, we're using external materia, so like a candle or like the directions, the cardinal directions, right? North, south, east, west, or some incense of a particular smell, or maybe some particular colors, or some particular foods, or things like this. And every time we do this, we're attributing I'm going to say attributes to the element that we're working with. So suddenly this orange, it's the color orange, and therefore it's something to do with Hod. Orange is a Hod color, and Hod is the sphere of Mercury, and Mercury is the god of getting of transactions and of travel and of things going from one place to another. So if I want my my packet that has been lost in the post to arrive, I can use this orange, because this orange is an element that can help me to do that, right? So using this verb to be in a controlled way, in a conscious way, to tell our unconscious mind what it needs to notice, what it needs to do, the situations that it needs to pay attention to, and maybe alert us. Hey, there's something going on over there that can help the result that you've been asking for. Pay attention to it, right? That kind of stuff. Other examples of using the verb to be in a magical context are voodoo dolls, right? So this doll is my boss, right? So this doll's left eye is my whatever ex-husband's left eye, right? Some other examples. This in ceremonial magic, right? We draw circles to protect ourselves, right? This circle is a safe haven for me. And again, the spirits that we interact with absolutely respect that. I contend that spirits are an aspect of my self. They are an aspect of my consciousness. But again, I'm using the verb to be, which is absolutely, as soon as you use the verb to be, then you're not being objective. But the other point of view is just as unuseful. Sorry about that. Technology getting in the way. Sorry. So, but as I was saying, the opposite is just as subjective, right? To say that no, spirits are real is it has power, and you can, well, you'll get different results depending on what you claim, I guess. What else? Just to talk about materialism versus idealism, right? To say that the mind is an aspect of the physical world versus the material world is a manifestation of the mind. Once again, if you say one or the other consciously to yourself as a belief, then you're going to engage with the world in a very different way, and one way may be more helpful than the other, and it's really up to you to or up to us to experiment with that, to work out what is that brings the most desirable results. When I say, a lot of people have been very surprised. I've written online that I believe that. So that I do consider myself a Christian, although that's a difficult thing to say. I am a Christian. What does that actually mean? But when I say to people, if you think that you're the kind of person who would turn into some crazy fanatic by believing in God, then don't do it. If you're the kind of person who would go out persecuting other people, then that's not a positive outcome of saying I am a Christian, or I am a whatever other religion, right? However, if you would benefit from it, if you would start engaging with the world in a more respectful way, in a more useful way, and if you started noticing the gifts of the world as gifts, and as, once again, it is a gift. It is a coincidence. It's not objective. It's something that you decide on, and then it goes out and does its business for you, right? Yeah. So there we go. Those are my thoughts. Let me see. Can I think of any other examples? Yeah, talking about Christianity, right? So this is the blood of Christ. This is the body of Christ. This transubstantiation thing is absolutely magical thinking. It's absolutely rooted in a decision, but that decision then affects your unconscious mind and makes you engage with the world in a different way. And of course, depending on how you engage with the world will present itself to you in different ways. So those are my thoughts for today. I hope that your brain's not itching too much, and thanks very much for your patience. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you haven't already. It really helps the channel, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.